Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee, and this is Randy, and we're here at Frederick County Animal Control with some adoptable pets that might make a great match for you or your family. Our first guest this morning, I hear, is making biscuits, and that's when cats do this with their feet on you. It's an affectionate behavior and shows us that a cat's probably going to be a lap cat and like to be picked up and be in contact with the people who adopt her. And her name is Madeline. And she's a spayed female, 6 to 8 years old. We had to estimate because she came to us as a stray, so we don't know very much about her specific past, but we do know that she was cared for by someone who spayed her, as well as someone who paid a lot of attention to her because she's quite accustomed to being handled. And she is looking at some bunnies off camera that seem to be captivating her interest at the moment. She is a lovely cat, as you can see, black and white with beautiful green eyes. And she is ready for a new life with someone who will take care of her for the remainder of her days. And since cats live 15 to 20 years, she does have a lot of time left to give. If you think that Madeline might make a good match for you or someone you know, or in the case that you might know someone who is missing a black and white cat with beautiful green eyes, then please have them come by the shelter and see if Madeline could be their cat. She came in with no form of identification, no microchip, but when she is adopted, we will provide those things for her owner so that this isn't going to happen to her again. If you have any idea where Madeline may have come from and you want to pass her picture around, that's an option as well. You can either link to this episode of Pet Pals or find her picture on petfinder.com. Our next guest this show is Spencer, and Spencer is a mostly white cat with black markings, and he has some unusual markings, one spot on the side of his face and a stripe down his nose, and he is an unneutered male. We, of course, will neuter him when he gets adopted, so although we have color-coded him as blue because he's affectionate and he likes people, he is only a year old and hasn't been neutered yet, so he has lots of energy and lots that he wants to do besides sit on someone's lap. Spencer is here because the owners of him and 3 other cats brought them in because they are having a new grandchild in the family, and they feel like now 4 cats is too many to handle. And it's often a story that we hear, the many, many reasons people part with their pets. But the one thing that we are looking for in homes for animals from the shelter is that someone would consider them a family member, so that situations like moving or an expanding family would not be a cause that they would lose their home. So if you would like a young, wily kitten, then please come by and meet Spencer, remembering that we are open on Wednesday and Thursday night till 8 for your convenience. And we may be bringing Spencer or some other of the adoptable animals to Bark in the Park this weekend. So if you are interested in meeting us at Utica Park, then please consider coming to that event on Saturday. This is Twinkie, a tabby domestic medium hair. Twinkie came from the same home as Spencer, and so obviously she came to us for the same reason. They had 4 cats and a new baby on the way, so they feel like it's too much to deal with. And Twinkie is just a sweet, sweet cat. She is an unspayed female, and we will spay her before adoption. She is also very young, and so she'll have a little bit of kitten behavior still that you'll have to deal with and teach her the rules of the road. She is very affectionate, and what I like about cats that are about a year old is that you're getting the benefits of a kitten without the long-term kitten antics of eating earrings and such, just long enough to get to know her and see her in her most playful, energetic stage of life. So if you think that Twinkie would make a good match for you or someone that you know, please come by the shelter and meet her or check out her information on Pet Finder and pass that around. Our next guest is Holiday, and we made up her name because she came to us as a stray. The crazy thing about her story is you can see her on Randy's lap. She is affectionate. She approaches people willingly. She's easy to handle. And her feet were injured when she came in, so our vet assistant was able to soak her feet, and she cooperated for that. She's a lovely cat. The interesting thing about her story is that she came to us as a cat that someone trapped because they thought she was stray and wild and needed to be corralled. So luckily, once they trapped her and realized how affectionate she is, they brought her to us so that we could try to find her owner. We were not able to do so, so she is now available for adoption, and we estimate that she is between 5 and 7 years old. She's in great shape. Someone probably cared for her for most of her young life. It would be unlikely for a cat to be stray for 5 years and not be thin and not have fleas and things like that. So clearly someone loved her once, and we are looking for someone to love her again. If you are interested in Holiday, please come by the shelter and meet her. See if she's a good match for you.
Oh, look at you. That is...
She's beautiful. Our last cat guest today is Boo, a beautiful black kitten with lovely green eyes. She is about 8 months old, and she also came to us as a lost kitty. We were hopeful to find her owner, but when an 8-month-old cat comes in without collar and tags, we usually do end up offering them for adoption. Only about 10% of our cats are returned to owners when they come in friendly and stray. So many times it's because someone's been feeding the mother who has a litter and they grow up friendly because they're cared for, but they aren't really owned. Or another reason is because the cat has become separated from its family and ends up a distance away from home. So we do encourage people who lose their cats to call the shelter immediately with a lost report so we can be on the lookout for your cat, and to send us a picture, because as you've seen today, the different colors of cats are often mistaken in people's descriptions. For example, Holiday is considered a calico or tortoiseshell, and sometimes people write in and say it's an orange and black cat. So we need to know specifically by a picture what your cat looks like, and we need you to come into the shelter and take a look too, just to make sure, because since we get 6,000 animals a year, we get 20 new ones a day on average, and it's really important to call us immediately if your cat's missing, to come often in order to help us get your cat back to you. When we are unable to do that with kittens like Boo, then we offer them for adoption, and Boo is ready to go. She's only 8 months old, so we will spay her before she goes to her new home and microchip her too, but she's going to have a little bit of energy for the next 6 months. So if you want a playful kitten, then please consider coming by and adopting Boo. We'll be back in a few minutes with some adoptable dogs at Frederick County Animal Control, and I hope you join us.
Hello, my name is Doug Orner, and I serve as Director of Volunteer Fire and Rescue Service for Frederick County. I've been a volunteer with the Vigilant Hose Company in Emmitsburg, Maryland since 1972. Why do I think it would be a good opportunity for you to become a volunteer? It's a great way to meet new people, learn new skills, and also you can receive college credits for some of the training that you receive. And there's always that reward of hearing a special thank you or a smile on somebody's face whenever you've saved a life or helped them in some way, shape, or form. For more information on becoming a volunteer, visit our website, stop by one of our 26 stations throughout Frederick County, or give me a call at the office. I'll be glad to assist you in becoming a volunteer. Look forward to seeing you at one of the stations in the near future.
If you're 55 or older and looking for a way to get moving and strengthen your body, then join the Frederick Senior Center for its strength training class. This class is offered daily and no pre-registration is required. For just $2 a class, you can develop strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination. Strength training also increases your metabolism, which can help control weight gain and help lower your blood pressure. So stop thinking about it and start exercising today. Classes are offered at the Frederick Senior Center, located at 1440 Taney Avenue in Frederick. For more information and class schedules, call 301-600-1605.
We are back with Winnie and Juliet. And Winnie and Juliet are 3-month-old lab pit mix puppies. And there are a couple of things to say about puppies at the shelter. Number one is that it is not easy to get a puppy from a shelter anymore. And the reason for that, at least in the Northeast, is that we have fewer puppies brought into the shelter, about 300 per year, than there are families who would like to get a puppy. Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. And one of the reasons that puppies are so hard to get is that we want to protect you from this experience that is occurring right here. A lot of people bring their puppies back to the shelter after a couple of months because they realize, yeah, that's right. See, I just need Randy's Zen puppy handling skills. Is that puppies are a lot of work, and people see their beauty and their cuteness and decide that they will be worth it. And then they take them home and find out that, in fact, this is 24/7. 24/7, this puppy is going to be putting things in her mouth that could hurt her, putting things in her mouth that I like and care about and don't want her to steal. And it takes about 6 months to get her through that stage. And especially if it's just a bunny, especially if you have children, you're going to have children who get frustrated with this process, that lose interest in all the work that is taken. And we really don't think that your kids should lose their puppy just because they're tired of doing the chores involved with the puppy. So it really does have to fall on the adults in the family to be able to handle this. Another reason that these puppies are an issue is there was a recent court ruling that makes any dog that is big-headed and might be related to a pit bull has to be considered a bite risk. And that's a legal ruling and not a factual ruling. No dog is any more likely to bite than any other dog. It depends on their temperament. It depends on their genetics. It depends on their raising. So certainly he wants to go jump on her now. Or she wants to jump on her. So getting a dog that could be any kind of a pit bull, these puppies look pretty lab to me, but we do have to consider in your adoption process that we tell you that we don't know that and that they could be part pit bull, and that means you do have a legal responsibility to protect these puppies from getting into trouble by jumping on someone and scaring him or her, by scratching a child. There are a lot of things these puppies could do in the complete normal upbringing that could cause you to be liable for damage that they've done. I'm going to have to reimburse Richard for the microphone, I think. So we really want to encourage people, if you want a puppy, please come talk to us about what puppy is right for you. We also take 4 applications for every puppy, and the reason we do that is not to judge you or screen you or something like that. What we're trying to do is, for the puppy's sake, put the puppy in the home that is the most likely to succeed. We're going to have a couple guests in a few minutes that now he's going to eat the rabbit food dispenser. See, this is how they are. We're going to have a couple guests in a minute that are adult dogs that were returned to the shelter for very normal dog behavior. So the reason we're picky about who gets our puppies is because we don't get very many, and we can be picky. We want to make sure that the people who take puppies are going, I want the good one. Watch, this one will be bad now. that we want, that we want to make sure that they get a home that's going to be ready for them and offer them the best opportunity to stay in a permanent home. So if you're interested in puppies, please come talk to us. Actually, talk to Randy. He knows how to do it. And we'll help you find the perfect match.
You're a good one too.
Yes, you are. See, it just takes the right kind of handling. We are back with 1-year-old Boss. He is a pit bull and has everything that pit bulls can offer: strength, loyalty, and high energy level. He is only 1 year old, and the reason he came to the shelter was that his owner's boyfriend got him from a friend when he was a baby, and they had him in an apartment, and they raised him up for a few months, and then the boyfriend moved out. And when you work all day and you are just one person, it would not be very easy to handle a big, strong dog like this, especially a young one. So we are looking for somebody who has large dog experience and also a little bit of time to spend with him, because he is in his formative year where he can turn into an awesome, awesome dog if he has enough exercise and guidance. And that is true of any dog at all. But large dogs, he likes rabbit food, but large dogs especially, because if you don't get that formative year under your belt, and he's 4 or 5 years old and still doesn't have an attention span, then you're going to have a dog that's hard to handle. While he's 1 year old, it's very easy to get his attention with food or get his attention with something interesting, and that has to be done every day for him so that he can become a focused and well-trained dog that's an ambassador for his breed. If you're interested in Boss or a dog like Boss, then please come by the shelter and talk to us, meet the dogs that we have, and see if we have one who's right for you. There are dogs for everyone. The difference between this dog, Clayton, who is an adult Shih Tzu, he's about 6, he's already neutered and crate trained and such, and Boss, the dog that you just met, a 1-year-old giant working breed, is huge. So if you are interested in dogs in general, then pretty much any dog in the shelter can make you happy. We'll just tell you what their strengths and weaknesses are. But if you know the type of dog that you want to live with, the difference between Clayton and Boss is like north to south. So Clayton was adopted from the shelter, and he didn't stay with the family very long. They said he cries when they're not home. So while we would love to adopt every dog to a family that's home all day, that's not realistic. So what we want to do is to help a family who is interested in having Clayton to transition him to be able to stay home alone while they go out and about and run errands. As you can see, Clayton pretty much wants to be with somebody 24/7. If you have that to offer, we would love for Clayton to meet you. But realistically, he can learn to handle being home alone. We just need to help him with that. And the start of that is crate training. Sometimes people say, oh no, I don't want my dog to be in a cage. We don't want any dogs to be in cages either. But we liken the crate training to using a crib for your baby when they're in between the stage where they could crawl around the house and get hurt, yet they're not old enough to stay in their bed until you wake up. So that's what the crate is for. And what we would do for Clayton is we would put him in the crate 10 times a day for no reason with a treat, let him right back out until we can create an environment that makes the crate really friendly and safe for him, and then gradually fake leave and get him used to the fact that you'll always come back. One difficult thing for shelter dogs is he had a family and they left once and they never came back. Then he was in the shelter and one day he never saw us anymore. So he does need help to understand that his new family is not going to leave him forever. They're just going to go to the store and buy him stuff. So if you think Clayton would be a good match for your family, especially if you have a really flexible schedule like working from home, or if you're retired, or if you have people in the family that share schedules so that someone's home most of the time, Clayton would love that. But if not, talk to us anyway. We'll talk to you about crate training and helping him with his worries that he's going to be abandoned again. We are here on Saturdays if you need that. We're here from 10 to 4 on Saturdays. And his picture's on Pet Finder, so if you know somebody who has been looking, then please pass his picture around. We're hoping to find just the perfect place for Clayton. Our final guest today is JoJo, and JoJo is a 5 to 7 year old poodle who originally came to us as a stray, was adopted by a family who, I don't know if you can see, but they really liked him. He's got 8 sweaters, 5 coats, including a raincoat. He has a Santa suit, and there's some brushes in here. All of these things, I know it's your stuff. All of these things will go with JoJo to his new home. And the problem that his family had with him, which caused them to bring him back, was they couldn't get him house trained. But one of the things that they wrote as things they had not tried was crate training. Now, with every adoption, we go over with you how to leash the dog to you the first day and use a crate the first night or a baby gate to make sure that your dog gets house trained right away. If you don't do that, don't despair. You can do it at any time in the future. It takes about 3 days to house train an adult dog. The problem is that those 3 days are pretty much spent 24/7 with your dog. So you may have to do it over the course of a weekend. And if you aren't able to use a crate or baby gate, it's really going to be a challenge for you to accomplish this. And we're going to give you a description in writing of how to do it. But I will tell you now, one of the biggest failures of house training is that we punish our dog for urinating in the house. All he learns from that is to hide it from you. So what you have created is a dog who, when you walk him outside, you can walk him and walk him and walk him, and he is not going to go. Because if he eliminates, you will yell. Therefore, he will not eliminate for as long as he can possibly wait. Sometimes dogs end up not going to the bathroom for an entire 24-hour period just to please you. So we will tell you how to break that cycle of a dog's misunderstanding that you don't want him to eliminate. That's impossible. He'll try to do it anyway, but he will not be successful. What you absolutely have to do is leash the dog to you in the house and go outside with him, still leashed to you. And when he eliminates outside, which he eventually will, because he can't be away from you any part of the day or night unless he's in the crate, he will eliminate outside. You will give him a treat, and the world will open up to him. He will realize, oh my gosh, it is okay if I go to the bathroom. It just has to be on grass. So we will show you how to do that. We will put it in writing, and we will help JoJo get a new home. If you are interested in helping JoJo with his future and taking on his entire wardrobe, then please come by the shelter and meet him. And we will be back next week with more adoptable pets from Frederick County Animal Control. Thanks for joining us today. You can see more episodes of Pet Pals at the link below, and you can check out petfinder.com for pictures of our always changing adoptable animals.